as I've said, the law and the standards, and especially the practice standards, which are international. So going back to the question of understanding about cybersecurity. So cybersecurity and data privacy should be built on strategy, sourcing, design, build, test, installation, and operation of a digital business. So take note, most of these are operated using in a digital format, and of course, to the use of information system and technology platform. Take note, we have already Republic Acts or we have laws existing in our country, citing the Republic Act 10173 or the Data Privacy Act. Then we have the Republic Act 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act. And lastly, your Republic Act 10844, which is the creation of the DICT, which takes care of these concerns in our country. And lastly, we do also try to look at the DICT National Cybersecurity Plan for 2022, which they have crafted. So all of this, so going back, as I've said, the question of understanding here is that cybersecurity should be in harmony with the data privacy because most of these implementations are done in the business side. And it should adhere with the regulations that we have in our country, advisories and directives, just like your Republic Act 10173, which is the Data Privacy Act, the Republic Act 10175, which is your Cybercrime Prevention Act, and the Republic Act 10844, which is the creation of the DICT, which takes care of these issues or concerns in our country. Then, of course, we should also include the DICT National Cyber Plan of 2022, which is those Republic Act that we have discussed should be in harmony with the law that we have in our country. Okay, now here are some of common concepts that we have to discuss. The first one is the internet. When we define internet, when we try to look at the word internet, there is a lot of definitions of what is an internet. But according to ISO 27032, which is the standard on cybersecurity or the cyberspace security standard, it is defined as the global system of interconnected networks in the public domain. So it's very clear. If we will try to look at the internet, if we will try to compare it, it is just a road that is free for everybody to use or everybody could use to pass by. So that is how they define internet as an international standard. Then after internet, we define internet services. It is defined as services delivered to a user to enable access to the internet via an assigned IP address, which typically includes authentication, authorization, and domain name services. So if you will try to look at this one, this is like when we say internet services, it is just like a road. Then we have houses. Our houses have addresses, just like your addresses. And then we could authenticate your address based on the people living inside the houses. Uh, that address is really those persons living. So same is true with our common concept for internet services. We try to check the IP addresses and make sure that it is owned by the same person. Then, internet crime. We define internet crime as a criminal activity where services or application in the internet are used as crime, where internet is a source of tool, target, place of crime. So this is now very, very common, wherein a lot of our data are being stolen through the use of much more complicated devices. Then we have internet security. It is defined as the preservation of confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information in the internet. This is where we will focus more on our policies and standards. Then, another common concept, which is cyberspace, is a complex environment resulting from the interaction of people, software, and services on the internet, supported by worldwide distributed physical information and communications technology devices and connected networks. Another definition of cyberspace, a complex environment resulting in the interaction of people, software, and services inside the internet, provides a global place for digital interaction among people, including formal and informal interactions with public or private entities such as businesses, government, nonprofit organizations, and other groups. Then we have cyber, refers to a computer or a computer network. So basically, it is the computer devices that we use as it is defined from Republic Act 10175, the Cybercrime Prevention of 2012. Then, critical infrastructure refers to the computers or networks. It may be physical, it may be virtual, it may be a computer program, it will be a traffic, as long as there is an interference of the system wherein there is now the presence of breach among security in terms of national economic security, national public health, and safety in the combination of those matters. That's why we do have the Data Privacy Act, wherein in the government data should be provided in public. However, due to also for such uh, reason for national security in terms of health, it may be on health, it may be in safety. That's why some other data are not provided for public consumption. Then we have cybersecurity, uh, is the preservation and confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information in the cyberspace. So this is where we try to protect our data that are available inside our network. Another definition of cybersecurity, safeguarding of society, people, organizations, and nations from risk caused by threats. So threats is already part of the cybersecurity. We do not need to wait. That's why in our third module we will be discussing how to risk our assessments. We need to discuss our risk management where possible attacks could happen. Another definition, cybersecurity is to maintain an acceptable level of stability, continuity, and safety of entities operating in cyberspace. While it is not possible to always achieve these objectives, cybersecurity aims to reduce cyber risks to a tolerance level. So we try to control. This is where we talk about cybersecurity controls. Cybersecurity also refers to a collection of tools, policies, risk management approaches, actions, trainings, best practices, assurance, and technology that can be used to protect cybersecurity, organization, and user assets. This is where our policies, uh, our analysis, our solutions takes place that we should try to harmonize to protect our organization. Another definition, it is the condition of being protected against physical, social, spiritual, financial, political, emotional, psychological, educational, or other types of consequences in terms of failure, damage, error, and accidents, or any harm in other event that cyberspace which could be considered non-desirable. Another definition, cyber safety can take the form of being protected from the event from being exposed to something that causes health or economic loss. It can include protection of people or an asset. So this time we try to identify our data as already assets That's why we need to protect them. Then we have information security, is the preservation of confidentiality of our data. Then an event, unidentified or for occurrence or system, service or network state indicating a possible breach. So there is now the activity of being possible breach inside your network or inside your system that could create failure of controls, no more of controls, and many data could be stolen or even deleted. An incident, uh, this is also very important because we should know how to handle the incident. For sure, there will be incidents that will happen along the way, and we should be ready. We should know how to document, and we should also know what are the process to hold those persons accountable. Because most of us in our organization at this point of time do have policies, cybersecurity policies. However, we do not know the proper documentation and how to make those persons accountable for all the things that we do. So this is also important to us. Okay, and then we have the management is a set of process for detecting, reporting, documenting, and dealing, no, how the incident happened. So it is very important we should know how the breach or attack happened, where it happened, and we need to assess how to deal with it to minimize the impact or the damages it has created, and of course, implement new things as a solution that would prevent further attacks or prevent the same attacks in the near future. Okay, so here is the next one. Uh, Governance of information security. So information security is very, very important. It is not just the common um, common responsibility of the top administration. It must also be from top to bottom because as one of the article I have read in the internet, most of the attacks that have happened inside the network does not come from outside. Worse, it comes from inside. Almost most of the organizations in the US, there's a survey in the US that 80% of the attacks comes from inside. So imagine. So if you talk about information security, it must start from within the organization itself. It does not come from. We can expect attacks from the outs. We can expect attacks from the outside, but not within. Another definition. More definition before we go to more discussions. Cyber infrastructure. We talk about the facilities in terms of hardware and software. Uh, Cybersecurity infrastructure is we try to acquire a solution that could provide us or help us protect our system in terms of hardware or software. It could be in terms of data collection, retention, transmission of documents, utilization, presentation, sharing, and repurposing of our data. Cyber insecurity is a shortfall that comes from fragmented thinking, reactive acquisitions. Sometimes we do not check what we have acquired, what solutions we have acquired. That's why there is now the problem that we thought that our network is secured. However, by not checking it properly in terms of risk management, there are still possible intrusions or attacks that are breached that might happen inside your network.